Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars, week 44, day 2. It is a brown day. So today, since nothing new has really come into the game brown related, we are going to be running our standard 4x stun. We have the double core vash for the front 2-line stun, we have the high forge for the back 2, and as mentioned yesterday, we can replace out the famine for Salvani Mora, or what was the brown purple option I mentioned? Oh yeah, I said something from the New Kingdom. I forgot which one specifically. Obviously that's not out yet, but yeah, he will be getting a pretty decent alternative, I believe, next kingdom for brown purple, so that will kind of fill the gap if you don't happen to have a famine yet. Other than that, High Forge is about the best brown summoner we could really get, so we're just using him. Has decent damage, has double stun, gets boost ratio off of dwarves, gets to summon dwarves, even starts with half mana. Core Vash is used for the mana drains and for just the damage in general, as well as the stun. Gorgolfa is used for mana and for tanking, of course, 75% reduction, best tank. And Famine, if you have it, we're using as a really heavy mana drain option, as well as just some extra damage, because Core Vash and High Forge will not be enough on their own. We could technically kill it out with just them, but it would be a little bit towards the lower side. But anyways, let's get into our battles, and if you guys have any questions, anything you want me to go over, or anything of the such, feel free to let me know. Don't forget, this Friday, we are getting a new mythic, so we will be going over that once it does. So that's in about 1 day, in like 6 hours or so, so if you are interested in that. It's not anything too over the top, but it is going to be one of the better submergers in the game, so that's a factor that it has. Though Submerge, as you guys know, is pretty bad at the moment, so that's not really too big a deal that it's good at submerging, but you never know. There could be purposes for it into the future. But hello everyone! Hope you all been having a good day. Hello Cavarian, hello Captain, hello Sean, hello Dennis, hello Adam, hello Sea Dog, hello Marcelo, hello Bunny. Welcome all, welcome, welcome. You got High Forge 10 minutes ago from Gnomes and Gem Keys. Very, very nice. Yeah, it is nice to have High Forge. Not only does he have a super high damage, like I mentioned, he has a 6x boost ratio. I don't normally mention as much, but he's very similar to how strong a Dragon Soul is with his boost ratio. Dragon Soul gets 3 additional damage for every dragon on the team, but it hits everything, whereas High Forge gets 6 but only hits 2. So it's the exact same boost ratio that a Dragon Soul has, except it concentrates all the damage on 2 enemies instead of all 4. Unfortunately, there is no 4x dwarf team that works well on invasion. For defend, yes. For invasion, or for invading on Guild Wars, not so much. Because you can't build 4 times of a color on dwarf without making it extremely clunky. But regardless, he still at least gets a boost ratio off himself, just like how a Dragon Soul also gets a boost ratio off of itself. Also, hello Trey, hello Cherry Top, hello Jesse, hello Mehmet. Welcome all, welcome, welcome. What do we even need here? Famine is completely pointless at this point. It's going to throw down some Core Vash. This team can be a little slow from time to time. The only reason I really use it is because it's really consistent at not losing. And that is important to not lose, that is for sure. It's probably going to score like 9,000, 9,100. But it has one of the highest win rates of any team I've ever used in Guild Wars. Just because it has so much control. Okay, we'll go, and also the whole team's stunned, of course. That is pretty much just standard with this team. It will perpetually keep getting full-blown stuns. I'm actually going to take a skull here, just because I want to be able to kill that out if we need. She does get pretty nice damage if she gets stunned. We'll go throw that down. 1 damage off. For whatever reason, I thought that was enough damage. Apparently, no. But I'll go move that. We don't use the color, but at least we get it off the board. We'll throw a Famine on that since it has such high durability. Yeah, we can Core Vash, and now to deal with the thing with 1 HP. This will die to the Explosion. And that will die to a Skull. Actually, you know what? Die to Explosion, because we get slightly more points that way, since we're gaining slightly more mana. Probably doesn't make that big a difference, but every little bit helps. And there we go. Hello, Mark. Welcome. Okay, on to Battle 2. We got all goblins, a really weird version of it. Nopin Brothers Goblin Rocket. Well, not really that weird. Never mind, it's just a Goblin Rocket. Interesting. Okay, so he's just not using the Siren, but instead he's going 4x goblins. Oh, you know what this means? Oh, you know what I need to go bring out? It's been a while since I brought it out. It has been a while, but I want to go do it just for fun. We shouldn't lose. If we lose with this team, there's something extremely wrong. But, let me go bring out the Gob Chompers. It's been a while. Let me go over and put all these up. Also, if any of you have 4 fully traded Gob Chompers, you could do this. It is pretty much auto-win if anyone uses goblins on brown or yellow day. That's why everyone tells me not to use it on brown day, and I finally switched it out. But yeah, you could easily just use this and tear it apart. pretty easily, as you're about to see. As I say that, we're probably going to fail. Is there a +2/+1 banner? I don't believe there is. I'm not going to bother double checking. I'm almost guaranteed there's not a +2/+1 for those colors. But oh well, if there is, it's not going to make that big a difference. Anyways, let's go chomp them. The main thing that makes this work compared to any other counter is they all start with empowered, so we can just start devouring them immediately. Of course, it doesn't want to devour, but we'll give it another shot. There we go. It doesn't even need a devour. We can just kill them out of pure damage. We'll kill out that one. There we go. Finally, we got a devour. Unfortunately, all the way on the 4th one. It's only really useful if we get it on the first guy. We'll go through another one down, hopefully for a devour. And as you can see, his entire team is pretty much dead, and the game just started. We haven't even taken any mana yet. Actually, this is probably going to be pretty bad points, even though it's a really consistent win, just because we have so little mana that we have accumulated. And surprisingly, the enemy has accumulated more mana than us, which should hurt our score. Especially if it keeps exploding like that. I might even get a kill. What is this? That's not good. Okay, we'll go and move that over. It's going to get a kill. Can you stop exploding? That is some great luck. I think he got like 4 explosions in a row. And it didn't even devour there. Make that 5. Make that a kill. What even is that luck? Okay, we'll go take that yellow. Oh, that hurt our score some. Between the explosions and the kill, that's not good. But, oh well. Case in point, that works. That definitely didn't score that well, but it worked. It definitely worked. Okay, let's go and not do that. Where's my Guild War Brown? Back to this. What on earth is that team? Oh, it's using that triple damage weapon. Yeah, it does triple damage to Browns. That's not enough to kill, though. It's only 99 damage only. It's still a pretty big hit, but it's not enough to kill. I believe nope, isn't even enough either. They're really high damage, but none of them are enough. Also, interesting throwing an Ice Golem in. Ice Golem's a little clunky in most teams, but in lower brackets, you can definitely get away with it if you don't have Queen Mab, or if you wanted to use Queen Mab on a different day and then use that. Though this late in the game, I don't think it's worth using. Like in bracket 1, 2, or 3. Anyways, let's go take this guy out. Hello, Simple and Bethany. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so right off the bat, let's go take those reds. That gives us High Forge. Nothing really too useful to stun other than his first slot, so it would be a lot more useful if we actually had Core Vash right now. As far as skulls, they're pretty much pointless for us to take simply because he has Stone Skin at the moment, at least until we stun him. So I'm just going to wait. We'll just let him take one of the skulls. He'll hopefully give us some mana alignment. I guess blue's okay. We could take brown too. I think we want brown more than the blue. Oh, we got the blue anyway, so that works out. Yellow. Will it surge? Let's hope so. Oh, never mind. Even if it surges, it's not enough mana because I'm on a +1/+1, meaning that's not enough mana. Fail. Well, plan B is, I guess, take a brown, explode the board, go from there. So that goes down. I don't have any ways to remove that, so we'll just go and get an explosion down. Nice little poke. Core Vash. Yeah, I guess we go for that, because now we can hit it with skulls if we want. I probably still won't take skulls, but we at least have the option to now if we want to. Technically, we already had the option, but you know, it's now gets full value. Like that, and he kills them out. If he had Stone Skin, he wouldn't have died there. Okay, we'll throw a Famine down, I guess on here. Oops! That is... That's not a Famine. Well, the misclick, though, that somewhat helps, because I can now hit him for even more damage now. So I guess that works out in the end, but that is not what I meant to do. Though it's not going to matter, because we just go right into that. Kill it out with a... oh, do I even bother with the skull? Pretty much a waste of my turn if I take a skull right here. Given that we have 75% reduction, I think we just let him have it. So he'll do that. We'll explode a bunch. And now we can just double poke him. And there we go. And now anything we do kills it. And it's likely going to be Core Vash, and yes it is. And down it goes. Sunbird Rowan 2x Firebomb is still a viable Explorer team. Yes, it still is. I use it on my other account, because that's the only thing he can actually build that's viable. And I still use it on my main account too. It's the exact team I actually use. There are a few other variants, so I just love using that team, so I just always go with that variant, even though it's a slightly cheaper version of it. But yes, that team has been viable for a while now, pretty much ever since Sunbird was released, or was it Firebomb? I forget which one came later. I actually think it was Firebomb that came later after Sunbird. But yeah, it's been viable for a while. Anyways, on to the next one. He's using pretty much my Divine team that I normally use in PvP. The only difference is he's using Skady. Well, I guess he's also using Dawnbringer, but he's only one troop off. The only troop he's missing is Diviner, and it would be the exact same team. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, never mind, that's fine. For a second, I thought I'd give him a blue extra turn, which I guess wouldn't have hurt too much, but still wouldn't have been the best thing to give him. little bit odd having a blue storm on that team, though. Doesn't seem like it would really help much. And if we can get us stunned, we can actually stop the blue storm as well. I don't know if that would be a good thing or not. I kind of need the blues for my Corvash, so I actually don't mind the blue creation that it's doing. So we'll just go explode out the board here. And, well, that didn't really work out well. What do we need? What do we need? I guess we'll go for blue to the brown into Corvash, so it's probably going to be too late unless it gets skull distracted. Oh, it did. Perfect. So now we can Corvash that. Now he doesn't get his ability or his Corvash. Very nice. Might as well do this first just so we have Famine in case he decides to get full mana out of nowhere like we just did. Wow, we got absolutely everything. Let's go move that so he doesn't take it. Skull Distract right there. What do we go for? I kind of want to kill it off with Explosion. So we're going to go for High Forge here. Get the higher damage in. Kill it out off this Explosion. Should hit at least 6 skulls, and it does. Even extra turn, too. Very nice. Pretty lucky. We'll go through... Actually, I'm going to throw Famine first before Corvash. If we did the other way around, we'd lose a lot of Famine's damage because it has a 2x boost ratio for every mana we drain. So we want to make sure to use that when they have high mana. And if we use a Corvash, we're going to just reduce all their mana, which is not a good idea. Or at least the front 2 line troops. And given that he had like 30-something there, it was like 60-something damage we got for free just by doing it in the inverse order. And now we just go for Gorgolfa, clean it up, and yeah, Famine into Corvash. Again, we cast Famine first because of the HP. The mana. We want to be able to utilize that for damage. And there we go. And now we kill it with anything. And down it goes. Yep, that's pretty much the team. Really consistent. Probably shouldn't have used that one Gob Tromper. Would have probably been better just sticking with this. But that gives us a total of... Oh, never mind. I thought that was the final battle. Never mind, we still have one more left. And it's against the standard Forest Troll Nyx Kraken Queen Mab team. We should be okay with this as long as we get the early stuns. This team's actually really important to stun because it has the Entangle up front plus the Skull Reduction, both of which reduce skulls. It has this thing which... Oh, never mind. I forgot. It got its other trait removed. Never mind. That doesn't have anything useful these days. This one has damage and HP gain. Oh, but it has immune to stun. Never mind on that too. So really the only 2 things that are important to stun, my bad, are the Forest Troll because of Skull Reduction if we don't, and the Queen Mab because we do not want to be frozen. Even though this team isn't really dependent on getting extra turns, we still want to have the capability of doing so. Hello, Big Bud. Hello, William. Welcome, welcome. Okay, what do we need? What do we need? I guess we'll go and take ourselves a brown. No really good angle to take it from, so I guess we'll just go take the brown to brown. I guess that actually is a decent angle then. We'll go take that out, get our Explosion. Really nice Corvash out of nowhere. Please don't cast. Perfect. Okay. We should be good now. Oh, they even stun hitted him perfectly so we could get that skull hit in. The only big issue here is that we're frozen on Corvash, which means we're frozen on brown. Well, anything we're frozen on brown. But luckily he gets right back out of it, so not that big a deal. Okay. Any free takes to take around here? I do not believe so. So we're going to have to go into Corvash, play it safe, make sure we get that drain. We'll let him do 1 turn. He shouldn't get an extra turn here. So he'll just grab full mana. We'll just go disable his mana. And yeah, just get Famine up and that's auto win pretty much. Unless he goes crazy somehow on a random turn. But yeah, all we have to do now is really get 1 big Famine on like Kraken or something. Pretty much good to go. So go throw that down. Hopefully get something out of it. Nice, we did. No full manas though. But we did get a decent Cascade if nothing else. So we'll go take that. Move that over. Oh, I could have taken the skull into the blue into the yellow. Could actually gotten 3 there instead of 2. Still good, still good. We'll go and throw ourselves, I guess, a Famine on Kraken. It's tempting. So we'll go throw that down. See if we get a High Forge from the back or something. So that'll go down. Let's see. Corvash? Yeah, because that'll double kill. And then we can High Forge, and then we can do pretty much any follow-up. So go do that. Oh, you know what? I actually probably should have High Forge first. Because High Forge would have killed that, then we could have drained Queen Mab. All of her mana. Now I can't drain her. Which I guess isn't too big of a deal, but she is going to get damaged because of that. Never mind, I got Corvash in time. But yeah, I definitely should have done that High Forge first. Oh well. We'll let her... Oh! I gave her mana! Oh, I gave her two... Wow. Well, that was a big mistake. Rip. Right at the end. That is exactly what I wanted her not to do. That probably cost us like 50 to 100 points. Not that big a deal though, but... Not like we're going to lose, but in Guild Wars, every single turn like that hurts. Yeah, we only got 1678. I think you get like 1,800 from that final battle normally. But there we go, 9,186 even with that really bad Gob Tromper team, and even with that, not bad, you know, but it didn't go over well when we used it. But yeah, that's not too bad, given the slight mistake at the end there and the Gob Tromper losing a troop and doing somewhat bad because it didn't really gain any mana. But yeah, it's made to be consistent, not made to score high. It's just made to get you those easy 5-0s. But there we go, nice consistent 5-0. And yeah, we're currently in 16th in our little bracket area. And we still haven't done a lot of our battles. Like the person we're up against, or the guild we're up against, they've done all of theirs, and we haven't even done about a fifth of ours yet. So we still have all those to come in later. Anyways, that's Guild Wars for today. Let me go do dungeons before I forget, because I will forget if I don't. Guild. Yeah, nope, that is not where you go. Guild! No, that's also wrong. Stop going to guild. Dungeons! Fight. There we go. I'm still not used to it being under minigames. I always want to go to Broken Spire whenever I go to it. That is also not the team I need to be using right now. That's the team I need to be using. Yeah, I use it for dungeons too, as we're doing right now, using this team. Works really good for dungeons if you have at least every single kingdom at level 10, you could probably get away with this in dungeons. It might take a couple tries on a few of them if you have really low stats, but yeah, you'd be able to get it done. But if you're just starting out, I don't think you'd be able to run this against dungeons. You need at least a small amount of stats on them from armor and HP kingdoms before you can really get away with that. Because I think the final battle would just have too high of stats if you don't have the extra stats from kingdoms. So I don't know for sure. Well, actually, I kind of do know for sure. My other account can't. I know that for sure. My level, what is it these days? 77 account cannot run all of dungeons with this. Mainly because it doesn't have any HP or armor kingdoms yet. So it's unable to that damage gap. It normally dies before it gets a chance. Alright, we'll throw a Sunbird down. That should be enough. Sugar will maybe survive with almost nothing, but nope, it does go down. And there we go. Dragon Soul Rain double Firebomb. Yes, that sounds like it works pretty well too. Main reason I don't use that is just because it goes slightly slower because of the extra mana that you need to put in it. But it would yield you around, like, what, 10,000 souls per hour, I want to say? Somewhere around there. Maybe even more than that. But, yeah, if you wanted to go and get some passive souls, that would be a good way of adjusting it. Even just really any Dragon Soul team in general is pretty nice to have. Just Dragon Soul with a bunch of troops that assist it behind it, either with mana or something else, just to get it down quickly, to get a quick kill and then get all of your souls. You use Banshee, Lady Ironbeard, Cabarrus, and Warlord's Battlecry for team value of around 5,300, but you're only level 180, so you don't have a long way to go. As far as for what? As far as Explore? I've never really been a huge fan of that Warlord Battlecry weapon. It always seems pretty weak to me, personally. I almost prefer using something like Crude Club instead, which is that 4 random mana cost weapon that you get pretty early in the game. It used to actually start with that weapon, but now I think you get at like 6 Red Mastery or something. But yeah, it's a really odd weapon, but it's pretty decent. Mainly because you can use it to skip turns, and it does a okay amount of damage, but I don't know, I've always preferred that a lot more over the Warlord Battlecry. The biggest benefit you tend to get from Warlord Battlecry is the targetable aspect of it, which for its cost isn't normally worth the trade-off. Anyways, there's dungeons for today. Now let's go mess in PvP and such. So if you guys have any questions about that, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll just be messing around with some various teams. Probably some Spider Widows, because I've been meaning to use her a bit more. Should probably go replace that team out with something else, but this team's been working out pretty well for us so far. Gargulfa, Dragon Soul, Giant Spider, and the Widow. Still not the hugest fan of her as far as running her in PvP, but definitely a viable defend team contestant, that is for sure. And I already use her on defend right now. Would have to get more data testing to really see how she does. But at this current moment in time, she has won one battle. One whopping battle in Guild Wars. Oh yeah, I didn't show that yet during the stream, did I? I did it before the stream. I was like looking at it, but I don't think I actually bothered showing it during the stream. Let me go show that after this. Also, I think we're going to lose to Mana Drain again. Because we don't have a quick way of getting up now. So go take that over. Well then, what a cascade. That's a problem. We'll go take that and hope he doesn't cast. And yeah, we're in trouble. We'll go move that over. We are in trouble. Actually, so much so, I think we actually just lost. Fail. Well then. Anyways, what was I about to go do? I was about to go do, something. Oh yeah, current defend team thingy. Guild. Oops, that's not where you go. Guild Wars. So, Guild War defend thingy. I did end up setting it as my new team. I was trying Yagwe, Naga Queen, and Furnace, and the Widow Queen. So far, it has 1 win. Out of 15 battles. It's hard to tell if that's actually decent or not, because this team that is considered to be one of the best teams for Red Day only got 1 win as well. So it's hard to really gauge it, because everyone this late in the game wins Guild Wars at such a ridiculously high rate that it's hard to really determine. Also, it doesn't show you how many troops you killed. It only shows you if you win or lost, so we don't know if they won with all 4 of their troops, or if they won with like only 1 or 2 remaining or something like that. So it's hard to really gauge how good it's doing, even with this data that tells you how many it does, because you don't know anything beyond that. It doesn't go into like the smaller details of it. But anyways, yeah, that's what I'm using for it. How is it fending? About as good as the other team, so all dwarf. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll have to give it a couple more weeks of testing there just to see. But I don't know, I think it's okay. I was using it some too. It's not the greatest team to be using, obviously, but as far as what we can put together with what remaining things we have left, it's not that bad. Hate that it is missing brown on brown day though, which seems kind of odd, but it does have the counter to it, so I was hoping that would be enough. But if they do a lot of brown spam and they just get a lead on us, we just auto lose, which appears to be happening a lot of the time apparently. But anyways, let's see, Gorgolfa, Dawnbringer, Bard class, Isabella. Oh yeah, I've been messing with that some. Currently not using the correct hero class though, but oops, that's not the right one. Actually, I don't think I have it saved anymore. But let me go build it from the thingy. Yeah, it's always fun using a Isabella team with a Gorgolfa behind it. And then just using other troops with it that use the 50% that it gets. So I'm not currently using the correct hero class, which is not going to make too big a difference. Wait, is this actually pure yellow? I didn't even notice that earlier. Wait, what was the 4th troop? Oh, Infernus. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even realize this was pure yellow. Interesting. So that's why you were mentioning it earlier then. Oops, Infernus. What even is our pure yellow these days? I actually do not know, because it's been so long since last Guild Wars. Oh yeah, I was going the, I was doing something kind of weird with it. I was going with the summon and using the Emperor Liang to buff up. I definitely need to replace out Emperor Liang from that team. But yeah, I was going down the World Breaker route. This team goes a little bit more around the Infernus route. But, yeah, well, we could definitely try this for next Yellow Guild Wars. I don't see why not. I don't think I've actually tried this specific team in Yellow Guild Wars. Similar ones, but not specifically this, so it's definitely worth a shot. I'm going to change banner to brown-yellow. Where is brown-yellow? I know you're in here. It's somewheres. Where are you? Stop hiding. There you are. Even with more organization on it, I still can't find where anything is. The only slight issue here is that we are lacking, I believe, 2 colors? No, only 1. We're only missing green. I always hate using exploders without a color, but it still works out if we use everything else good enough. Plus, we're starting with half mana on pretty much everything, so that's a pretty big plus. The only thing we wouldn't be is if we were using Bard hero class, we would not start on our hero with half mana, because Bard counts as a wild folk, not as a divine. Well, I guess Gorgolfa doesn't start with any either, so we'd have 2 troops that don't start with anything in that case. Well, let's go clear out the board, because I don't really have much to work with here. We'll go throw a Dawnbringer because we can. Just gotta get some damage down, which would have hurt our points quite a bit, because we didn't get the Dawnbringer down yet. This was actually Guild Wars. Alright, we'll get an Infernus down. And hopefully we have alignment here. Okay, so try to figure out what on earth is going on here. We'll go take... We're frozen on purple, so I can't grab that. We'll take that. And I think we go for this and just hope we get lucky. Okay, apparently that didn't work out that well. Well, we'll go throw a Dawnbringer down and go from there. Oh, okay. That hurt. And we don't have a summoner. What else do we need? So normally Dawnbringer would probably be enough that we wouldn't need a summoner. And that's dead. Even if it wasn't an extra turn, would still have wiped them out. And it was still our turn by the end. Shen Tang banner? What is that? +2 yellow, +1 red, -1 green? I want to say. I should forget what it was. Let me see. Shen Tang, Shen Tang, Shen Tang. Oh, is that the one that has minus... No, that's not the minus green banner, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, that would make sense then. Let's see. Do we really need the +2 yellow, though? Well, I guess so, because we Isabella into Gorgolfa. We sacrifice the +1 brown, but I guess with the Firestorm off Infernus, that'll make up for it. But we are going to have a slower Gorgolfa. Oh, you know what? Actually, it won't be slower. Never mind. Because we still have a net +2 for Gorgolfa. It's just it's all in yellow now instead of spread between brown and yellow. Which will make it slightly easier for the enemy to counter. Because the only slight issue with that is it is yellow day, so people are going to be running Spirit Fox and stuff. Obviously in PvP we won't be up against Spirit Fox and stuff, but since we have +2 yellow and since we have +2 yellow on a yellow day, it is very likely that the enemy will have something that minuses our yellow. So that's the only big downside of putting all of our mana into yellow pretty much, instead of into brown. Or, you know, having that +1/+1 for the backup of brown. That should still work out. We have our barriers up, so I don't need to worry about anything really dying now. Go through another Dawnbringer just to get the damage down. Also, 4x Goblins could be a legitimate team that gets ran. Actually, we even faced that today during one of the battles. And a smash. And there we go. Does anyone here use the orbs, understand how to use them? I don't use them, but I do understand how to use them. If you want to use an orb, I wouldn't really advise it much, but if you are going to be using an orb, you do it by going under to your troops, and then clicking on a troop that you want to upgrade. Let's say, for example, our Autumn Imp. Let's say we, for whatever reason, wanted to ascend this troop, because we do not have the copies to get it ascended, and we want to go get it ascended. To do this, you go over to the orbs page, and then it has a bunch of orbs. These green ones, basically what it does is this smaller green one will increase it by 1 level. This bigger green one will fully level the troop, though it'll only do it to their cap. So let's say that it is currently legendary right now, like it is. It will only be able to level it up to level 19. It would not level it to level 20 because it's not ascended to 20 yet. The smaller blue orb raises it by 1 ascension, which is what we could use right now to go get it to the next ascension level. The bigger blue one raises it to max ascension, used most commonly on commons and rares because they have the furthest to go to get fully ascended. So you would normally get the best value out of those, particularly special commons and rares. For example, special common and rares would be things like the Guild War troops and the Guardians and stuff like that. Ones that are stronger than the average common, even though they're still considered common. Orbs of Wisdom, the smaller ones will give the next trait onto a troop, and the larger one will fully trait any troop you use it on. In both cases, you use them mainly on legendaries and mythics. The smaller one you use for the final 2 traits on either legends or mythics, and the bigger one you use when you have 0 traits on your legend or mythic in order to fully trait them. And then there's the Orb of Power. Orb of Power is pretty much useless, or well, I shouldn't say that. It fully maxes out 1 troop, so it fully levels it, fully ascends it, fully traits it. Though the only way to get an Orb of Wisdom, as of currently, pretty much, is to craft it. And the components needed to craft it are if you individually used it all, would net gain you way more. So there's essentially no point in ever using an Orb of Power. Because if the only current way to realistically get is to craft it, and no one's going to craft it, because if you individually use all the resources, you would have net gained more value than if you would have just used the Orb of Power, so it's really weird. But, yeah, it's mainly just these 6. Also, there's Orb of Clans, too. These you want to use once you have 1,500 seals, for the purpose of making your guild go over to either 20,000 or 40,000. As you guys pretty much know, you get seals from your guild every single week. From doing these random objective thingies, you can go use these points as well and all that. But let's say we have 1,500, but we're still, like, let's say 2,000 short on the weekly seals. We can then go use these orbs. The smaller one gives 300, and the bigger one gives 1,500. And these you can use infinitely in order to get your guild either to 20,000, so you get the better drop rate, or to 40,000, so you get the maximum possible drop rate when opening seal keys. Those would mainly be done when like a new mythic comes out, like maybe this Friday. One of the main reasons why I'm saying wait until you have 1,500 is they act kind of weirdly, in that if you haven't reached the max yet, they will count towards your max and will not exceed your max. But if you use them after you've already hit max, they will exceed your max. Basically what I mean by that is, let's say we're currently at that amount. We go and use, let's say, a major orb, which will give us 1,500 seals here. This will then bring us to, well, it will give us 1,500 seals. It will still do that properly. But the problem with it is the difference between this number and that number in the completion. So like 700 something, I don't know what that exact number is. What is that? 738, I want to say, somewhere around there. That 738 or whatever that difference is, would be completely lost, because once we reach the max capacity of seals, which using an orb would do, it would make it so we can't gain seals anymore for that week. So it's better to get 1,500, then go use the orbs. So do keep that in mind. Do not waste your orbs. That's like the only one that you could very easily waste, is the these major orb of wisdoms, and that's not explained anywhere within the game either, which is really annoying. If you try clicking on the little question mark, all it says is how many you have. which seems really weird. That doesn't help at all. But yeah, it doesn't really explain much with it. But yeah, do be careful with those. Make sure you have 1,500 before you ever use them, because you will be wasting quite a bit of resources if you don't. Let's go try this again. I might actually use this for Yellow Guild War. Might as well give it a shot. It's been a couple weeks since we bothered to throw Shabella into Guild Wars as well. I think I used her on her first week, but then didn't bother doing it after for whatever reason. Even though she is really good on yellow, due to how many good yellow divines there are. Can I show this Friday's Mythic? As far as what it does? Well, I don't have it, like, you know, like that or anything. I can't show it like Salty did. I don't have that kind of access. But I can say what it does, and I'll go do that right after this battle. But yeah, I can't actually show it because unfortunately I did not have a copy of it. We won't have one until Friday when we actually get it by a key opening. Hopefully we'll get lucky on it. The last Mythic we got in 50, so we got really, really lucky on the most recent one. Hopefully we get in 50 again, though that's very, very unlikely. To get it that, to get that much luck 2 times in a row. Today you bought VIP 6, or you've bought 6 VIP keys, I mean. The results were pretty good when you open them. Yeah, there are quite a bit of good drops. It does drop Epic and higher, so you can get pretty lucky with them. More often than not, I do consider gem keys to be better than VIP keys for the most part when you're first starting out. While VIP keys do have a lot of the really good endgame drops and better chances at getting mythics and legends and stuff, the biggest issue with them is they don't have ultra rare drops. So it's almost better value initially to go all into gem keys, and then once you have every or most every ultra rare to mythic, then that's the time when you go into VIP chests if you have VIP chests unlocked, because by then you'd most likely have enough runics as well as, like, you know, like I said, all the ultra rares already by that point. What key for the new Mythic Friday? Pretty much every key except gold keys and event keys. The glory keys will have a chance, the gem keys will have a chance, the guild keys will have a chance as long as they're upgraded enough. Make sure to use them a little bit later in the week if your guild hasn't gotten the upgrades yet. Like, I want to wait on mine because my guild hasn't hit 40,000 yet, though I'd never opened these. I've been hoarding them. They said they would buff the loot, but yeah, anyways. But yeah, I've been hoarding them for a while due to a buff thingy. But yeah, it's glory keys, gem keys, guild chests if your guild is upgraded enough to have mythic drops. You can check on the seal page if you do, and VIP chests if you have it unlocked. Those are the 3/4 keys that have the mythic in starting on Friday, and that'll be in 1 day and 5 hours. 1 day, 6 hours, and 22 minutes is when the new mythic comes out. They haven't made a little notification thing for it. They've been being pretty good about making like little notification things here that tell you like what about things. They don't even have one for the new mythic yet. What is this? They'll probably have one out tomorrow. At some point. But anyways, let's go take this revenge real quick. Don't want to pass up a revenge for keg hammers. Gosh, what even? Why? Keg hammer's pretty weak. I really wish they would have made it slightly stronger. The most recent buff he did get, though, is he does triple damage to giants now. I believe he used to do no additional damage to giants, but now he does triple, though that's still pretty useless even with that. Very few giant teams really get used. The only thing that's particularly good against, I guess, is technically the trolls, but then it doesn't even get to use the magic aspect of it if you use it against a troll, because trolls don't use magic at all, so it's kind of it's a little bit weird, because as I mentioned, the biggest giants used in the game are trolls, so he's pretty much pointless against the only thing he would ever need to counter. What do I even need to move? Also, thank you for your subscribe, Skrillex. Let's see. Also, hello, Questor. Welcome. Oh, yeah, I forgot to go over the new mythic. Let me go do that right after this battle. My bad. I completely forgot to go do that. Let me go do that right after this. It shouldn't take that long. He's just using 4 kegs. Though he did reduce down this thing's damage. Why does he keep hitting this? He's actually hitting the most perfect target he could. Out of everything that uses magic on my team, this is the most magic-dependent troop. I wonder if it knows. They might have set the AI to know, like, whatever the best thing at using magic is. Just keep hitting it. But we'll go throw that down. Go get the Gorgoltha down. And... okay, I was just gonna say, that's not gonna be enough damage, is it? Actually, is it? No, definitely not enough. Even with our full boost ratio, that's not even gonna be close. We'll go kill that out and we'll be good to go. Okay, let me go over that new mythic thingy. I was gonna verbally say it because I don't believe there's a visual up on the spoiler thread yet. Let me see. Actually, if there is, let me go bring it up. Actually, I think there is one. My bad, there might be one. If that's the case, I'll go bring it up in a nice little graphic then. There we go, I think we have it right here. There it is. Okay, let me go bring this up in a nice little graphic. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Oops, that's not it. Somewhere's here is the correct one. Window, no, that's the video capture. That's the window capture. Found it. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Click OK. Make it visible. Make it visible. And there we go. Okay. So this guy. It says Undyne. Oh, I always thought Undyne was a female, but it's a Merlantis Divine Merfolk. It does deals. They have changes from what I previously have mentioned as well. If you ever heard me mention something about this guy in the past. But basically what he does is he deals magic... Oh, wait. Can you guys still see that? Yeah, it's still showing the full thing. Anyways, he deals magic plus 3 damage to an enemy and then the next enemy below. So basically you would never want to throw this onto last slot. You'd also want to make sure that there's an enemy directly below. I don't know if it has to be directly below or just below in general, but I assume it's directly below, but we'll find out. It might just have to be below in general. What I mean by that is, I'm not certain if it's like first troop, empty slot, third troop. If you hit first slot, I don't know if it'll actually hit third or not, but we'll find out what exactly will happen. But yes, it deals magic plus 3 damage to an enemy, then the one below it, only the one below it, or you know, both those two. And then it's boosted by Merfolk and Submerged allies, and that's a pretty decent boost ratio too, 6 times. So that means he could get a potential extra damage if you were using a full Merfolk Submerged team. That's actually a lot of extra damage. Let me see, that's 24, 24, 48, 48. What's 48 times 48? I mean, that'd be a huge number. What's 48 times 2? That's 98. No, that's 96. So 96 additional damage on top of its max damage is its total amount of extra damage it gets if you had a fully submerged, fully Merfolk team. I don't think there's any good viable for full Merfolk, but you could probably get like 3 in there or something with like 1 mana generator of some kind. But yeah, kind of interesting. It can submerge pretty easily though. If I read the rest of its ability, it also submerges all allies. So whenever it casts, well, you just got all the submerges you needed. It submerges... Wait. What? Oh, never mind. It only submerges all blue allies. I completely read that wrong. But it submerges all blue allies, which is itself, which if you were using a full blue Merfolk team, would allow you to do. Which means it could be blue Guild War viable, though I'm pretty sure it won't be. It then silences all blue enemies, which could make it used for blue defense for Guild Wars. What do I currently use for blue defense? I don't recall. But it could function for that purpose. We'll have to see. But as far as the traits, the only really decent thing it has is Mana Shield. It does submerge itself at the start of every turn. Before, it had to submerge a random ally on 4 times or 5 times matches, which is way better than what it currently has. He basically has a perpetual submerge for himself, assuming he's not stunned. The only big issue with this is that it's not that good. But yeah, it seems like it could be okay. It doesn't seem like anything too over the top, but I obviously still want to get it, mess around with it. Biggest thing it's probably going to be used for is if another Merfolk event comes around and they start adding some really viable Merfolk, going to be pretty decent. One other thing is you can very easily use Azura into these teams, so there's probably going to be some kind of decent Azura team with it, because Azura is both blue and a Merfolk, if I'm not mistaken. It should be. So if they add like one more good Merfolk, we should be good to go to try to use them into something decent. Unfortunately, that current one doesn't really exist. But yeah, not really too big of a mythic. Not one I would say that is really mandatory to go for. It's not going to be like the meta or anything for anything, but it could have some purposes into the future. So if you have some resources to throw at it, I would definitely at least attempt. But nothing I would go too hard on, because it's not really that essential of a troop. It's not like a Infernus or something like that, that is for sure. It's pretty average. Do I not have a spider team set up? I need to keep a spider team set up so I can go and... I'm renaming this. Let me see. What's the quickest spider team we can get? I need to keep it just so we can get 2 times trait stones. So let me go reset up the team I had here earlier. I believe it was Firebound. I think it was just standard Stunbird Rowan, which would make sense because that's what I use for pretty much everything, because it works. No need to fix it if it already works or change it up at all. There we go, and that'll be perfectly fine. And now all we do is throw the firebomb down, go into all the other mess, and we'll be good to go. 6 times 4 times 2. Did I do that wrong? No, it's 6 times 4 times 2 times 2, because it's 6. The 6 is from its boost ratio. The 4 is from the 4 Merfolk. Let me see. Well, let's see. It's 6 each time. You have to multiply that by 8 because there's... Oh, you know what? I might have done it wrong. But both those maths are wrong. Let me see. Let's see. You have to do the 4 times twice thingy. And then you have to do the 2 times hit twice. So, no, never mind. I think I did it right the first time. So, it's a 6 boost ratio. You can get a total of 8 thingies. So, that's 6, 6, 48. So, 48 times 2, because you're hitting 2 enemies. That's why I did the extra damage. It's not all that concentration on one troop. It's on both. But yes, you are right. It's 48, but it's hitting 2. I said 96 because that's the total amount of increase that it gets as far as damage. But 2 each of the individual troops is doing 48. But yeah, that's why I added 2 times to it. But yes, that's, yeah. So I should have explained that a little bit better when I went over that. But yeah, it's 48, but it's 48 extra damage, but it's 96 overall, is basically what I'm saying. Alright, we'll go further that down, get a sunbird down, and we'll be good to go. Even more so now. And there we go, we get 2 times straight stuns for that ridiculously easy battle. All tickets. And what do we get? Only 2 majors fail. Nothing good at all. What would a good purple Guild War team be without Infernus? Well, you could definitely work around Sunbird. Other than that, Wolf is pretty nice to mess around. I believe I currently use that actually as my current purple. Obviously, you can't use all the other components. But building an entire team based around Hellcat, Wolf, it doesn't have to be the whole really big thing that we're using. But basically, you just put the 2 heaviest hitting purple troops you have behind a Hellcat into an Wolf team. The purpose of Wolf is for perpetual perpetual purple storm, which is really strong. And it's actually the lowest rarity troop that has a perpetual storm, which is really nice. And other than that, you use the Hellcat for mana generation into some kind of purple-red troop or a purple-red-yellow. If you happen, oh, actually, never mind, that's only Infernus, so never mind on that. But yeah, you could use it into a purple-red, yeah, pretty much just purple-red. So as far as purple-reds, that would be viable for that. As I mentioned, Sunbird would be one. What other ones would function that are lower rarity? Let's see. Obviously, Element of Grimwood and Furnace Wood, though they're higher rarity stuff. I don't think you can get away with Miststalker. Would be fun, but I don't think you can. Sakima wouldn't be horrible if you have that laying around. As I mentioned, Sunbird would work. Dragon Soul would work if you could fit another dragon into the team. And that's about it. So that doesn't actually leave too many things other than weapons. Let me see. Staff of Madness, if you own it, though most people do not own a Staff of Madness because the way that it is obtained is basically unobtainable these days. So most people don't actually have it. But that would also work in place of that. Though I don't know if you have that. You could always use Burning Scythe or Heart of Xenos too, but both of those are quite a bit weaker than a Staff of Madness, unfortunately. For whatever reason, there's like 3 red-purple weapons that only have a half boost ratio based on their magic, which is kind of odd, because all the other weapons have like a full boost ratio, but they just decided with those few, it's like, nope, we're only going to give you half for almost no reason. Actually, there was a reason. It was because Burning Scythe was way too overpowered in Arena. But then we have things like Dawnbringer, which is like just insanely broken beyond belief. So I don't know what exactly they were thinking with that. It just doesn't make sense. Anyways, let me go. Is Yellow Day actually tomorrow, or is it Purple Day tomorrow? I always forget to double check. Guild. I always go to Guild too, because you used to be able to go to Guild Wars via Guild. No, it's actually Blue Day tomorrow. Interesting. Let's go mess around with our blue team then. Just as some practice. We should be fine though. Wasn't blue already situated? Or did we still need to tweak it any? No, it's already situated. Farce Troll, Dawnbringer, Azura, Hindala. That's about as good as we're really going to be getting. There's a few tweaks that we can kind of make to it. But throwing this with Titan Hero Class tomorrow. Actually, I should probably go switch my Hero Class now. Just so we can switch it later during tomorrow night's stream if we need to for whatever reason. Or if we're planning on switching our team again for the following Guild Wars. But yeah, we're going to need Titan Hero Class for this team. The reason for this is it starts Troll at half mana, it starts our hero at half mana, and it starts Hindala at half mana, which is basically our entire team other than Azura being started at half mana. Also, speaking of Azura, if you haven't already completed out the Merfolk Kingdom, if you are planning on getting that new mythic, and you don't have Azura laying around, you definitely want to make sure you have one, because it's pretty much near mandatory to use Azura with the new mythic coming in this Friday if you do plan on using it. So I'm pretty sure anyone who's planning on getting that troop already has a Azura laying around. What do we even need here? I guess we'll go throw some freeze. We'll throw it on you, why not? Don't want him Dawnbringering us. Let me take a skull. Even if it does almost nothing, it's still damage. Go get that down. Good, it did not miss. Very nice. What do we even need here? I guess we can go for another freeze, another poke, another something. Let's go for a few explosions in there. Take a skull poke. What else do we need to move around? I guess double the greens. Get that down. Oh, did I just double green when we didn't need any mana? Good job. Yes, I did. We'll go throw that down for the kill. Get a Dawnbringer in there and go from there. Go take a blue. Start getting some of that mana up. Take a brand. Oh, he just drained my mana. Just hoping he would hold it for one more turn. Famine does tend to throw it almost immediately every time. Very, very rarely would it hold it. And that would mainly be when you have pretty much no mana whatsoever. Okay, he has a bunch of barriers now. I'm actually going to take a skull because I need to get rid of that barrier regardless. So, even though he has 75% reduction, we still get the skull off of him. Come on, we need that last little bit of mana. We're kind of mana locked right now. I don't have any easy way to get all my mana up. Oh, if we get another purple surge, that'd be great. That'd be full mana for us, pretty much. At least it would be Azura, which can lead into a bunch of other stuff. We're going to take this green, try for a skull. I actually got it, too. It's mainly trying to get purples near each other, though, but it didn't happen. Can he stop famining us? Hate when I get hit behind a famine constantly, because then he kind of gets stuck and then can't do anything. Luckily, he's still entangled. Please surge. Oh, never mind. We still don't... Because he took away my mana. He's actually going to win this. That's going to be really sad. Could you imagine if this was actually Guild War Day and we went from that to this? It can happen, though. It happens. Luckily, this isn't Guild Wars. Though this is what we're using for Guild Wars, so that's concerning. Let's see. Come on, purple. I almost want to put Azura in front of her, in front of the Dawnbringer at this point. I think that might be better. Did I have it like that originally, but then I switched up for some reason? I may have. But yeah, I think we need Azura in second slot. When we get hit down by a famine, we fall behind way too much. Wow. Okay. Still winnable. As weird as it may seem, it is still winnable. We'll go take that. I need that skull. We can actually get a Dispel here, too. So he'll do that. We'll get rid of his barriers that he just got. Wouldn't that be amazing if we won with solo Azura? Azura is that strong. She can solo an entire team. We have done it before. It isn't realistic, obviously, but she can solo... Oh! Yeah, if I don't take a skull, that would help. That would hurt. But yeah, there we go. Poor Azura. This is one of her biggest issues, though, is her low durability, but everything else about her is quite amazing. Okay, can we not fail again? And do it again. Okay, we'll definitely need to try this a few more times then, because that was horrible. Yeah, these two, we need to go switch. Also, like I said, I need to go switch to hero class. That would help a lot. The whole point of this team composition is to have that hero class, and not having it is hindering us. So let me go do that as soon as we finish out this battle. Let me see here. Let's see. Best way to choose banner equals which troop is the most important to get mana frequently. Pretty much. Whatever one is your core mana generator, you want to be getting it mana constantly with whatever banner you can, or what you say your banner based on your mana generator, basically. Whatever your mana generator is, or whatever you're trying to get the mana on the most, is basically what your banner should be towards. What do I even need here? He's gonna summon a double summon, and then summon a bunch of summons after that summon, and it's gonna be just like yesterday, except worse. We'll go throw that down. Okay, we might have a chance. Please extra turn right here. Exactly what we needed. Perfect. Please be enough damage somehow. It is not. Please hit that one. Or never mind, it's summon. Ah, I hate that. Has a 100% chance to summon 2/2. 2/2. But yeah, that's really annoying. Okay, let's go and half hit. Go do that, get a Dawnbringer down, or even just a skull at this point, and yeah, wrap that in. Let's go and take ourselves a brown there. Go get that. Okay, take out the brown. Go take ourselves a brown to an extra turn skull. Get the double green and move from there. Okay, so let's go use this with the correct hero class, the one that it's supposed to be actually used with. Or at least once we kill out these two little things. Should already have won if it didn't get that summon. But I'll go take a poke. Let's see. Oh, sorry, what were you guys referring to with that? Can you watch Salty use the Mythic on Dev's Twitch stream? I saw it yesterday. It was functioning... It was actually hitting all enemies, if I'm not mistaken. She said she was going to report it to the QA team or whatever she mentioned she was going to report it to. So it should be fixed by Friday. But yeah, I was seeing it. It was hitting all enemies instead of just two, which it would be insanely overpowered if it was that way, because it has a really huge boost ratio. It'd basically be a stronger version of Dragon Soul if it was to do that, just without soul gain. Though I don't believe they're going to keep it like that. But if they do keep it like that, he's going to be super, super strong. Though it's completely a glitch, so there you go. Regardless if it currently functions like that, or if they accidentally release it like that, they're going to probably fix it soon after. So do keep that in mind. Even if he is glitched to be super powerful, they're going to nerf it within, like, no time flat. probably only take them... If they accidentally do release it like that, they'll probably have it fixed on the exact same day. Hello, Danny! Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me go use the correct hero class this time. Hero. And keep it on this class, because we'll be needing it for tomorrow, if we're going to be using this. So let's go and switch over to Titan. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Switch over to Titan. Click change for free. And now we're Titan hero class. Now this team will function properly. We should probably still switch to Azura, though. Oh, excuse me. Whoa. Okay, let's take the brown. Please don't. Oh, I actually had that with invisible sight, and I gave it to him. Though I didn't realize the other one would cascade like that. Oh, he's gonna get a drain, and there's not a single thing I can do about it. It's gonna hurt a lot. Oh, he didn't go for it. Perfect. Problem is I don't have enough damage to kill it. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Actually, we have a lot of green mana generation on this team without really anything big to put green into. Almost feel like replacing our Hintla with something. Word Breaker? No, Word Breaker doesn't use blue. What is the heaviest damage green? That's not Arieli. That's also not Word Breaker. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a really heavy green-blue. It's not either of those two options. Anyways, let's go and throw this on Rag, actually. He did not cast. I actually wanted him to do there, because now we're going to have to take useless mana. We'll go grab that, I guess. And then he drains pretty much all the mana I just took. There goes Rag. That's why I wanted to kill it, because it's his main mana generator. And I have no mana to go take. Good job. Well, we can't do anything about that. Let's go take a purple. Move that over. To skull or not to skull? I think we skull, because that entangles too. Which, in case it gets additional skulls, we're going to be needing it for that. Really wish Barrier protected you from mana drain. But it doesn't. Yep, there goes Famine. Should we cast? To cast or not to cast? Let's see, we'll move that over. Get that kill. Double the green. Oh, that failed. That failed so hard. All the chances we had to hit it, and it didn't want to land for us. Okay, let's go get this thing to full mana. Luckily, for Guild War purposes, one really good backup plan we have is keep spamming Hindla until we don't lose. If worse comes to worse, we could easily win off of that strategy. Ideally, we will not need to use that strategy, but if we have to, it's a viable option. How do we do this? Because he's going to get Infernus, so we need to make sure we get full mana, basically right now. Which, there's no way to do that. So I guess we'll try for double purple or triple brown or some kind of other combination. We just got triple green, you've got to be kidding me. It's not exactly what I wanted, but okay. Well, he got that Cascade. He's going to get Infernus. We're going to lose a bunch here. We can still keep Azura, though. Okay, take a purple, explode, go from there. So we throw that down. And now we just need one good Dawnbringer in this match. Wow, that still didn't actually go that well, surprisingly. This is doing really good the last few weeks. I think I need to still move the Azura, I think is the biggest issue here. And we don't have a good enough green sync. Oh. Oh, that's what we need to put. We need to put a web spinner there. Oh, yes, KrissTigger would work too. But, I think I want to do web spinner, actually. We can do a blue, green loop. And do it like that. Oh, but we don't have green in our banner, though. That would be very useful if we actually included it. Okay, let's go and, do we try it like this? Oh, we'll give it a shot. It's a Forest Troll Web Spinner team mixed with an Azura Dawnbringer team. Go move that down. Yes, KrissTigger would be pretty nice, though we'd have to have it higher up in our team hierarchy, because it has Stone Skin, so we'd want to use that. Probably second slot, if we were going to use a KrissTigger, followed by an Azura or something. Okay, we'll go through this down, get our damage, get like a double green in here somewheres. Actually, you know what, let's just take a blue to a, anything that gets a full mana. So, a blue into a blue. I'm not casting the Forest Troll yet, because there's almost no options to do so. Go stat reduce him. Nice extra turn. Double the green. Please don't miss. Ah, it missed. They didn't even give it full mana, which we really needed, so we'll go clear the board partially. And no extra turn, but we should be able to get this rolling now. You've got to be kidding me. It actually missed. But now we can start doing this. And use it like a Yasmin. Oh, let me click. There we go. There we go. Double the green. There we go. That fixed it. So that's what we need to do then. Unless they're using a really big green, like maybe Famine, in which case I might want to go Christine X or something. But yeah, I think that would work out. Is another stream coming on tomorrow? Yes, we stream every single night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now, every single night for pretty much ever. We've been keeping it up for like a year and a half now, I think. Or has it been just a year? I actually forget how long it's been since we've been doing daily streams every single day. It was requested a lot in the past, and for the longest time I didn't do it. But then I just figured we might as well start doing it. So yeah, we've been doing daily streams for quite a while now. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now. 1 hour prior to now, every single day. And we just do whatever the guild-related thing is, plus dungeons, plus whatever else we're kind of just messing with. Right now we're just messing with tomorrow's blue team, or at least the team we're probably going to be using for Blue Guild Wars. I don't know how I feel about Skady. Skady seems really underwhelming, to be honest. There's some niche instances where it gets used, but compared to loop teams and stuff like that, the biggest issue I have with Skady normally is she loses her turn whenever she casts, and her ability isn't worth the loss of the turn in most situations. And that's the biggest fault I really have with using her most of the time. Yeah, if we really needed the blue storm, it could be okay. But unless we're specifically blue looping, I don't think it's worth it. Just using it with an Azura, it's helpful because it gives more explosions to Azura, of course. There is one team I might try using it with. The new Mythic that's coming out on Friday. I might make some kind of blue Skady team out of that and use something like something in first slot that's a Merfolk, followed by like probably that one that submerges your entire team. That green-blue golem. I think it's called Coil Golem, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Coral, not Coil. The Coral Golem, followed by the new Mythic coming out Friday, followed by a Azura Skady. Oh, never mind. Skady would be, I mean, wrong order. Also, how many colors does that even cover? But it would be the Coral Golem, Azura, new Mythic on Friday, and Skady. I might give that a shot. That's pure blue. It's also 3 times Merfolk. Oh wait, what day does Blue Day fall this week? Oh, it falls tomorrow. Duh, we're literally doing it right now. I was hoping we could use the new Mythic for it, but we won't be able to till next week, unfortunately. Oh no! I forgot, Guild Wars isn't every week! You've got to be kidding me, I hate when they do that. We have to, I didn't think about that. We have to wait 3 weeks before we can go test the new Mythic in Guild Wars. Almost everyone's gonna forget about him by then. They really need to try scheduling that a bit better. Like, if the troop they're adding that's the Mythic is going to be good for a specific color day, and they know for sure that people are going to be using it on that color day, they should really put it after the fact. I think it's completely random how it gets determined at the moment. Or it's not random, but it goes through like a cycle thing, and it's pretty much gets predetermined every single time, but they don't control it. So that might be one reason why. But yeah, it definitely would have made sense to have Blue Day on like day 5 or 6. Because then you could use the new Mythic. Actually, even day 4, because you could still use the new Mythic. But they put it right before. They did this for the last Mythic 2, I believe. When Skady first came out, the Blue Day was like right before, like on the 4th day like this. Or 3rd day, I mean. And you weren't able to do it for the Friday that it came out, which was annoying. Because then we had to wait a bunch of time. Then we only had to wait a week, though. Of course, now we have to wait 3 weeks before we get to test it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, we could still mess around with it in PvP, but we just don't get to Guild War test it is all. You got the Spring Imp today. Is it useful for anything, really? Not really, though out of every single one of the imps, it is the most useful imp, mainly because it entangles the entire opposing team. The only thing it's particularly good with is basically Yasmin. Yasmin and some Skull Spam teams, because of course with Skull Spam teams you sometimes want to entangle the enemy team. It's a good alternative if you don't have fully traded self anymore and stuff like that, because it is a really easy way of getting entangles. Though ever since they added Leshy, there isn't really much a need for it though. Because there's a common now that basically does that role. It entangles all allies and enemies and destroys all green gems. Of course, it entangles all allies as well. but you can easily counter this with Impervious or things that have immune to Entangle, like Nimble and stuff. But I believe the Wood Ancestry also has immune to Entangle, that new the new trait that they added this patch. But yeah, this troop basically does what that already does. So yeah, I guess Spring Imp isn't really as useful as she used to be, but all the imps are pretty dated and bad for the most part. If we go under Primal, I believe they're under. Most of these were added over a year ago, some of which like 2 years ago. I think some of them were even added the very first year of the game. So they are quite primal. They're quite old and pretty ancient in this game's history. Autumn Imp when he first came out was amazing, but useless these days. Imp of Love at one point was decent damage, but these days is really bad. Spooky Imp is just pure useless. Spring Imp is the most useful out of all of them just because it has a full Entangle plus damage, which isn't too bad, but Yasmin does it better, Leshy does it better, and Green Seer, if you're doing a loop team, does it better, so don't really need to use her for much. Summer Imp just has a ridiculously small amount of mana generation. If I'm not mistaken, he was actually the first Imp ever. Yes, he was. He was the first Imp ever added to the game, followed by Autumn Imp. I believe the order was Summer Imp, Autumn Imp, Winter Imp, Imp of Love, Spring Imp, Spooky Imp, I believe was the order they actually came out. These days they run in seasons, as you guys have probably seen in the past and when they made that little thingy. The Winter Imp is December and January. The Imp of Love is February and March. The Spring Imp, which is available now, as you were just mentioning, is available in April and May. The Summer Imp is available in June and July. The Autumn Imp is available in August and September. And the Spooky Imp is available in October and November. And that's when all of them are available within the drop key tables, though that's pretty irrelevant because you can craft them within the Soul Forge at any time. They can just randomly appear them there. You can get them randomly off of legendary tasks. I believe you can also always get them off of VIP keys if you happen to have that unlocked. And yeah, they're pretty useless just in general, so getting them isn't really that special. Though I do want 2 more copies of Autumn because we still haven't gotten it yet. There was one point where we could have gotten them for like 300 glory each or something, like ridiculously cheap, but I didn't stock up on the time. But yeah, we still need 2 more copies of him. We'll get him eventually. Of course, like I said, August and September is when we'll get him. Any good PvP team with immune to mana drain? Not really. The best you could do is use like a bunch of ancestries, like with the Diviner, into like 2 other things that happen to have the immune. But there aren't really too many things with immune to mana drain. Let me see. Oops, mana drain. So let's see. If we were to make it all team out of it, do keep in mind you could still get stunned. Let's see. We would need Diviner for sure. Diviner is amazing. Probably need Yagway too, so we get that in there. Let's see. We need Diviner, Yagway. Let's see. Diviner, Yagway. Where's the thing that actually uses yellow in all this? Those actually drain. They don't have immune. Yeah, there's not too many that you could really do with full immune, is there? There's some that you could do with partial immune. Would be really hard going all in, though. Because what would we use as our yellow damage source? We need a yellow damage, but nothing with immune to mana drain has damage. This has drain, this has drain. It's not actually immune. So yeah, there currently isn't a single option with Diviner. I guess we'd have to go other stuff that isn't Diviner then. That's horrible. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. There is a hero class that does it. For any of you that don't know, there is the... so I guess that could fill the gap into our team. Though I'm not sure off the top of my head what we'd really use for that. Would have to look into that more at a later time. But Orb Weaver is the only hero class at this current moment in time that is immune to mana drain. It has Mana Shield, which of course is immune to Mana Burn, Mana Drain, and Mana Steal. Meaning, yes, it is indeed immune to Mana Drain. So you can use absolutely any weapon with it, meaning we could use Dawnbringer. So that would amp it up quite a bit. It also has a really annoying trait that has a 50% chance whenever it takes HP damage to summon a giant spider. It's not really that viable, but it's pretty funny whenever you face it in a horrible way because it's super ultra annoying. Because they just keep constantly summoning giant spiders. Let's see. You actually saved up 500 diamonds to buy Celestial set to upgrade your troops. Who do better in battle to gain gold? Is the strategy good? As far as gold teams, you basically just run and spam PvP. There really isn't any way other than that. As far as teams, really anything that could take them out. Additionally, one other strategy is to spam the 1 trophies off of, or the lowest possible battle under casual PvP. These battles are generally a lot lower team score, as you can see, compared to your normal battles, and they're really easy to pick off, yet they still give a decent amount of gold. So that's another thing that you can do, and you're still getting trophies, you're still getting gold and all that. And once you have 1,900 PvP points, you can pretty much just go into casual PvP the entire time. Also, spending this 50 gold to repick is sometimes quite beneficial if you have something bad here, because you can get into something even weaker that should still give a decent amount of gold. Of course, don't click that too many times or you're losing too much of your gold profit. But it's a nice strategy to gain a bunch of gold. But yeah, PvP and casual PvP are the 2 highest ways of gaining gold, and you just run it with quick teams. Basically, whatever strongest set of teams you have out of what you can compose is what you would use for gold farming for the most instances. And if you could fit an alchemist into it, that helps all out too, because he normally gains the max capacity of gold, and he has 25% extra. What else did I miss? Did I miss anyone else's questions? Let me know. Which hero class is better for Dawnbringer and PvP, Bard or Titan? Depends what you're using. If you're using a bunch of giants and stuff, Bard. If you're not, then, if you're using a bunch of giants and stuff, Titan. And if you're not, Bard. Though more often than not, I run it with Archer. Even though it doesn't get plus 5 additional damage, it gets the half mana start. And you still get to use the skull pokes on it. Other than that, you could also use it with the... Oh, you know what? Actually, probably... You know what? Now that I think of it, yeah. The best possible way to do it is with Titan, then. Would probably be better overall. Because you use Titan, you get the half mana, you get a troll that gets half mana, you can even do that into a troll that's going to feed you mana. So yeah, and you'll still get the plus 5 damage, because I forgot, with the Archer class, you don't get that plus 5, but you could still get the 50%. So yeah, I would say probably Titan then would be the final verdict on that. Unless you're running like a 3 or 4 yellow team, it'd probably be Titan every time. Especially if you're running at least one other giant on the team. You got Queen Titania last night. Any good teams for her? Yes. You use Alchemist, Moneylender, Goblin Rocket, and Queen Titania. Really strong team. We've been using a lot lately, actually, too. I think I still have it set up just all the way at the bottom here. Where'd it go? Yeah, we have it set up right here. Oops, not exactly that. We have 2 Queen Titania, same difference. Goblin Rocket. Oops, come on, go. But yeah, it's really cheap. It's a rare, rare, and a ultra rare. And of course, Queen Titania. But the whole team is built around Queen Titania, so it doesn't matter what her rarity is. So we'll go through... we actually want to wait. We want to try getting Alchemist up first for his mana. Unfortunately, that's not available. You know what? I'm just going to throw it. Well, yeah, that didn't go over well because we didn't really have the board set up for it. That was kind of to be expected. We'll go through this onto purple. I need to get all of his mana up now that we're starting it, so definitely need to go keep poking at that. Maybe throw another yellow or something, get another Moneylender down. Oh, did I leave that blue there? I think I cascaded it to him. But we'll go move that. Hopefully this doesn't miss. And now we have basically auto-win. At this point, we can use Goblin Rocket to control the board and just control all the mana that's currently on the board. Oops, I should have Alchemist stat. But, yeah, it should be pretty easy from here. We'll just go take this, grab a bunch of mana. I'll cascade into more mana. We then get another Goblin Rocket. We can actually go and get a bunch more reds this way, too. Get our max gold. We'll easily reach max gold every time. And then just keep spamming Queen Titania. I normally run this with double Queen Titania, but if you don't have that, you can easily run it with a Goblin Rocket. As you can see, it's quite a bit cheaper and still works decently, though it does go slightly slower with a Goblin Rocket. But it gives you a lot more control, which is nice. And it's good practice to learn how to use Goblin Rocket, because there's a lot of very strong teams you can build around it. It's probably the strongest Ultra Rare in the game. There's a lot of things that are pretty strong under Ultra Rares, that could be considered pretty high up there. But I personally would consider Goblin Rocket the strongest Ultra Rare in the game. That's why you normally see me using them in a bunch of these random teams. It's arguably the best looping troop, actually, because it not only has the board control, it has the mana generation, and it has the automatic extra turn. And it's only 11 mana cost. I'm actually really surprised they haven't raised this mana cost yet. It used to be only 9. To even fathom, it used to be even stronger than it is now, which is kind of funny. But, yeah. Any good team with all mana drain immunity? We just went over that, kind of. I didn't end up making a team, though, did I? I honestly don't know what we'd run for full mana drain immunity, like I mentioned, because there isn't really too many things that fit together under full mana drain immunity. You can maybe get 2 or 3 things immune to mana drain, though I don't think it's viable running full immunity, because you're wasting so much damage potential, because they just don't currently synergize with each other. It will in the future, of course, as more options get entered into the game, but at this current moment, nothing seems too over the top, unless you're specifically using the Orb Weaver class, but then you have to specifically go and switch yourself to Orb Weaver class, which pretty much would be used for nothing other than making a full immune to mana drain team. And we just switched our hero, so I can't switch it again, or else it costs those precious gems. Why don't you ever mention Banshee in soul farming teams? Mainly because it's mainly only used for early on in the game. And it's, I don't know, it normally just doesn't work out that much. It's nice to have earlier on just as a utility troop. I personally wouldn't advise it once you have a Dragon Soul or Valkyrie that's decently leveled, just because both of them are better. Banshee is really clunky to use. It can only do blue to red, has a really small amount of damage, and normally is not that good at mana generating. It can be used, I just personally don't care for it that much. More often than not, you replace it out with Hellcat, Moneylender, or yeah, basically those two. Oh, and Flame Troll. Those are the three things that people tend to use instead of it. I know none of those actually give souls, but yeah, even though they don't give souls, she's just a lot clunkier to use. And those other three are the Flame Troll, the Moneylender, and the Hellcat. While they don't give souls, they are much better at winning quickly. And if you're using a different soul gainer with them, like a Valkyrie or Dragon Soul, you get better value out of using those kind of troops than you would using a Banshee. Yeah, Banshee's usable. I personally don't really mention it much just because it's something you use at like level 100 and below, and then once you get beyond that level, for the most part, you'll switch into other stuff once you start getting the core mana generators. Let's see, you need one more Forest Troll for Mythic. Which keys would drop them? Well, VIP chests would have the highest chance of getting you an Epic, though next best bet would be Gem keys if you were going to go do that. Other than that, your guild keys would also be good if you have them fully upgraded yet, or if you have either the 20,000 or 40,000 on your guild thingy, would be a decent chance. Also, keeping an eye out on the Soulforge from time to time. I don't think it's currently available, but from week to week it could be available on the craftable stones. At this current moment in time, I do not believe that is the case, but no, it is not. But do keep an eye out on them because there's two different ones on both of those. So that's 4 possible drops that could potentially have it. And within about 8 of these drops, you could go and get them. It's a little bit of an expensive way to go out of your way to go get them. But if you only needed one just to get it to Mythic, it might be worth doing for that purpose. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading off for now. We'll be back, as I mentioned, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. And we'll be back with all the normal stuff that we always do. Other than that, yeah, we'll be going over Guild Wars, Blue Day, just messing with dungeons, all that kind of normal stuff. Probably re-mention the new Mythic that's coming on Friday too. Don't forget, of course, new Mythic this Friday. Also, Fair Shara is available on Monday through event keys, so do keep that in mind as well. So don't overspend on a new Mythic if you are interested in attempting for Fair Shara. Other than that, yeah, I hope you guys have the good rest of your week. Have a good weekend, and I guess I will see you all later for either tomorrow night or when the new Mythic comes out. Anyways, guys, have a good time. See you all, and goodbye. Good night.